Good afternoon, class. Welcome to today's lesson in industrial chemical processes. I hope you are able to get me very clearly and we can straight away start. So today's topic is crude oil, and we are going to look at specifically the nature of crude oil and also crude oil refining. But first things first, what are our specific objectives for this lesson today? By the end of the lesson, you should be able to define the term crude oil. You should also be able to define the term crude refining. You are expected also to be able to describe the properties of crude oil and then also explain the crude oil refining process. Let us start with these definitions, which are important for this lesson. What is crude oil? What is crude oil refining? We can define the terms straight away. Crude oil is a mixture of hydrocarbons that exist in liquid phase in underground reservoirs. Crude exists in between sedimentary rock layers, and in these layers or cavities, it may coexist with other substances such as water or even gas. Crude is extracted from the underground reservoirs and then processed into useful products through crude refining. So actually, crude refining is the process by which crude is processed into useful products. Now let us look at the properties of crude oil. These properties are used to classify crude oils, and they are used to differentiate one type of crude from another. So which properties are these? Crude oil is described by properties such as density or specific gravity, viscosity, sweetness, color, and composition. Now let us look at each of these properties one by one, starting with sweetness. What is crude sweetness? Crudes are said to be sweet when they have low levels of sulfur. Conversely, when they have high levels of sulfur, they are said to be sour crudes. Color. Crudes can also be classed according to color, and the color of crude ranges from colorless to black. I know most of you may not believe that crude can be colorless, but that's the truth. Some crudes are colorless, while others are black. And in between, we have hues of other colors, such as brown and green. Composition. What is the composition of crude oil? Crude oil is composed of mainly hydrocarbons. There are the light hydrocarbons in it and the heavy hydrocarbons. It may also have impurities such as we've seen previously, sulfur and other compounds. What about density? Density is the mass per unit volume. Some crudes are very dense, while other crudes are less dense. The density of crude lies between 800 and 950 kilograms per cubic meters. In this case, heavy crudes have densities in the range of 950 kilograms per cubic meter, while the lighter crudes have densities in the range of 800 kilograms per cubic meter. Then we also look at viscosity. Viscosity is the ease with which a liquid can be poured. A liquid that is easily poured is said to be light, while a liquid that is difficult to pour is said to be thick. The viscosities of crude in the range 10,000 centipoise are ascribed to heavy or thick crudes, while light crudes have viscosities of less than 100 centipoise. Now let us look at crude oil refining after looking at the properties of crude. And in looking at crude oil refining, we are going to watch a 2-minute video. And as you watch this video, note the following features of the process: crude oil pretreatment, separation, conversion, treatment of products. Welcome.
Distillation process is taking place. Crude oil is supplied to a furnace before the distillation tower, where crude oil is heated and vaporized and it becomes the crude oil mixture. The vapor and liquid mixture is then fed into the bottom section of the tower. The feed section is the hottest point in the distillation tower and can reach as high as 400 degrees C. Components that are still liquid at this elevated temperature become the tower's bottom product. Components that are in vapor form rise up the tower through a series of distillation stages. The temperature decreases as the vapors rise through the tower and the components condense. The yield from a distillation tower refers to the relative percentage of each of the separated components, known as product streams. Products from the distillation tower range from gases at the top to very heavy, viscous liquids at the bottom. In all cases, these product streams are still considered unfinished and require further processing to become useful products. Light products, light ends are further separated into propane, normal butane, and isobutene. This stream is often referred to as liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, and is sold as a cooking and heating fuel. Naphtha could be blended into motor gasoline, but is more likely sent to a catalytic reforming unit for octane improvement. Kerosene is generally treated and used as jet fuel. Heavier distillate streams are also treated and blended into finished diesel fuel or home heating oil or are further processed in conversion units such as fluidized catalytic cracking and hydrocracking. The routing of these streams will vary as product demand changes to either maximize diesel production or gasoline production. Lowest end of columns, asphalt.
Now, after looking at that video, you've clearly seen that crude is processed into various products using the distillation process. You have seen heating is the first stage to generate vapor. The vapor rises up the column where the various components separate out based on temperature difference, with the lightest products being collected at the top and the heaviest products being collected at the bottom. These products are still further processed into more useful products. Now let us summarize our lesson for today. We have seen the definition of crude oil. Crude is a mixture of hydrocarbons in liquid state. Then crude can be classified using various properties such as density, viscosity, color, and sweetness. Crude oil is processed into useful products using the process of distillation. Now that's the end of our lesson, and I'm going to post to you an assignment for which you are going to research on the advantages of various types of distillation processes. The assignment will be 20 marks. Thank you, class. Until the next lesson, goodbye.